Local 1186, Hawaii Pacific Health, Pacxa, HGEA, and Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union.
Good evening and welcome on this Monday night to another edition of Call the Coach with Rainbow Warrior head basketball coach Eran Ganot. Eran, I want to start off with saying what a tremendous output you got from your guys on Saturday night. I thought it was terrific.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy for them. It's been coming, and I hope we keep it going. But I think the connectivity of the group, the way they've stuck together through some ups and downs, rising to some of that challenge, different guys on different nights, and hopefully we can build off it. We've played some teams, and that's where we're trying to gravitate to the challenge of it. When we were struggling, we had to go to Fullerton, who had beaten us and who was on a 3 or 4 game winning streak, and kind of embrace that part. Come back here, we play in Davis and San Diego. Who are off to a great start, and then coming to play Long Beach, who's won 5 in a row going to this game. It's what you live for, and our guys have done a good job, clicking at the same time, but understand we need to keep getting better.
I think they've embraced it. They've embraced the fact that the teams they're playing have been playing very well and are going to be favorites over them, and that doesn't seem to faze them one bit.
No, they've everyone's been talking about even through the ups and downs of it. I think I remember talking earlier about how, if anything, we compound the problem. We're pleasers. We want it so bad for ourselves, for each other, for the community. And, I think what's happened is, talking to the guys about, hey, just keep working, keep staying together. And they have good leadership. They've never fragmented. They've never been divisive. We've just had to, 1, do what we do better, and 2, attack where we've been exposed, confront the brutal facts, get better. And, it's happened at times we've had some guys out, and guys have stepped up, and breakthroughs have happened, and now they're playing with confidence and things that they can lean on moving forward.
Yeah, they seem to really embrace. That was the largest crowd, by the way, in the conference season. I don't know if there was even a bigger one in the Rainbow, but it was almost 5,000. That was a really, really good crowd, and they were into it.
Yeah, I feel like they've, the crowds have really helped us. I think you talk to our guys, and, they appreciate it because we understand. I mean, we understand the reality of the situation. You heard us talk about it. Like, we're started off 2-6. We understood the reality of the situation. No excuses, no pointing fingers. It's not where we wanted to be. But we didn't want it back either. Some people, man, I wish I could get these back. No, everything happens for a reason. Let's see if we can come together. Let's see if we can attack our weaknesses. And then all of a sudden what you see is, Justin continues to emerge. The usual suspects, Bernardo's consistently Noel. But here comes Cody Williams, Ryan Rapp, Tom Beatty. And that's when we've had, it's not the recipe for success when you're struggling and then you lose a Morissette and then you lose a McClanahan. But what I appreciate about them is when I say staying together, sticking together, that was everybody, the guys, the staff, our fans. They have been very open with us about how appreciative they are of our fans sticking with us.
Well, I think that what's happened is that some guys who have lost their place for various reasons, Matthew Cotton hadn't played very well for a stretch, and then Javon McClanahan got hurt, and then he comes out, and I just think that guy in particular, and Morissette, they're the biggest cheerleaders you've had. They're cheering like they were in the game, like they were doing it themselves.
And that's a credit to Hawaii, really. The character of the people in our program and the extended support staff and extended families with our fans. And it's a program run like a family. And so I know it's easy to say, hard to do, but you got to do it. And our team has done it. They're competing for spots. Early in the year, we're trying to find the right combinations. We might have guys like Noel and Javon and Bernardo back, but you're incorporating new guys who haven't played as much and might have experience Division I, but not with us. And, we were looking, we were searching, and usually it happens quicker for us, and sometimes it doesn't, but they stay together with it and finally had a little bit of a breakthrough. But we understand, and it's a humbling game, that we have been playing well. We got to continue to work, and they had a great practice today.
Well, I wanted to ask you about Long Beach State because that's a team that had won, as you mentioned, 5 games in a row, and they're also aggressive.
Yeah.
They're very aggressive. In fact, to a fault, I think, sometimes. But they have coaches, even their assistants, who used to be here. Q.
Yeah.
Q
Carey.
Q Carey. We always just called him
right.
Q. And but he's like a football guy in a basketball. and they have that about them. And your guys didn't spend any time worrying about that. They just went right after them.
Yeah, well, we need to be aggressive. That's what we've been trying to hone on forever. And sometimes a group needs to see it and then build off it. They started to see success with it, but Long Beach is, number one thing in coaching is easy baskets. How many you can get, how many you can limit. And Long Beach is the best in our league. We're talking about in all 4 phases. So 1 is transition, 2 is transition off turnovers, 3 is offensive rebounds, 4 is the free throw rate. They get to the line to do all those things. I thought we limited that. They only gave up 4 offensive rebounds, and that was our front court setting the tone with blockouts. But our guards, we talked about this before the game, how big our guards would have to be in helping our bigs. Our free throw rate was in the ballpark, and we're complementing our half-court offense by getting easy baskets, offensive rebounds, transition, and it's been fun to watch. I know the second half was a little uglier and nastier, and Long Beach, to their credit, does a good job of mixing up their defenses, not just man and zone, but several different man, several different looks at zone, a couple presses here and there. But I thought we set the tone early, and what's been happening, too, is our player movement, ball movement has been fun to watch.
One of the things that I was aware of is they were missing all their threes. They weren't getting very good shots, and they were 0 for 10, I think, for the game. You guys were, I believe, 10 for 28?
Yeah, and I think in this, it's 7. Sometimes the little breakthroughs lead to bigger breakthroughs, but in these last 5 games, we're, I think, over 50 from the field, over 40 from 3, have made 10 threes a game. Whereas earlier, we might have made threes, but too many attempts. Now, Long Beach, we probably shot a lot of threes, but it's kind of the way the games dictate with them. And that's one of the differentials. People talk about rebound margin, turnover margin. In the way the game's played now, the threes, 10 made threes for their 0, that's a big difference. And, we've been I think we were number 1 in the country last year in limiting 3 attempts, number 2 this year. So that's a big part of what we do.
Well, one of the things, and I think you got under the skin of Dan Munson, because they got used to winning a particular way. They're on a streak. He was now. You got a couple of calls that you couldn't have liked early, but you didn't let it bother you. Just kept playing.
Yep.
And I think they had trouble doing that when they got a couple of calls they didn't like. I thought the officiating was pretty even. I didn't think it was great, but I thought it was pretty even. And at one point, I heard Dan Munson. I'm close enough to hear it. He's saying, "Well, what did we fly out here for?"
I've heard that. It's his line first. Well, I think it's the line he's used, and I have a great respect for a great relationship. It's the line he's used for every game. I'm like, there it is. And then I say, well, what did we fly 6 hours both ways, every other week? So, I think the bottom line is there's calls either way, and you got to be – there's an emotional part of the game, and you got to shift gears back into focusing on what you can control and how well you weather that. And I thought for the most part our guys have been in a good temperament.
Oh, here's an interesting text. Hi, Coach. Any chance to keep Justin McCoy for a little longer, say another 3 years? Or do you have anyone coming in that could be a Justin McCoy?
I would love to coach Justin longer. I've said this a lot with guys like him. He's a late bloomer. He's got a bright future. This is really his first year playing a lot of minutes. And not as a disservice of what he did in the past. It's more we've had a formula, a blueprint for having success with, and I've said this after the game and during the year, really good players playing on NCAA tournament, great culture programs, Power Fives, that just happen to be playing behind pros. And he falls into that category. And so it's been nice. I always say it's nothing like seeing a team come together, a player grow, or student athlete grow. And we've only had, we're going to have less than a year with him, really. But he needed to go through, he went through, okay, now I'm playing more minutes. That's different. Now I'm a guy we're playing through. Okay, now these guys are scouting me. And then he's just continued to check the boxes. And now he's dealing with that and playing his best basketball. He's also given us incredible leadership. He might be our best leader right now. His voice, his passion, he's inside out. He can shoot the 3, he can shoot the free throw line, he can get to the rim, he can post. It's been a great dynamic for us. So, I'll keep looking at some kind of loopholes out there where we can coach the guy, because he should get another year. And I know I said this a couple years ago with Jerome DeRosier, but that would be awesome. Now, I do think the good thing for us is he continues the trend, and this is a great thing to sell with recruits coming up. From, Mike Thomas, that's Mike Thomas, Cy Tamalo. Mike Thomas was an all-conference player. Obviously, Cy was a great shooter. Jack Purchase was an all-conference player, too. Kazdan Jardine was an all-conference player, and then Kamaka, Hepa, Jerome DeRose, and now Justin. I don't know many people that can say they've had that many all-conference fours, and so if he doesn't get his 3 years back, which we can all pray for, we do have a good pitch for guys to come in and be impactful at that spot.
You know what's funny about him? I think if the NCAA really wants to be square with you, they should say we're going to give McCoy another year, and we're going to and to make up for it, we're going to give DeRosier another year.
Bring it. Well,
bring him.
Jerome's in town, so let's.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's in town. Let's bring him back. Oh, I might sub in a game, see if anyone notices. Those guys are great, and they're great for all the right reasons. And I think Justin right now is playing in this stretch. Obviously, he's just playing at in this stretch, he's playing at a first-team all-conference level for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if he got too late of a start on that.
Right.
But I also think that he doesn't care that much. He'd way rather win a couple of games in the conference tournament than get an award.
That's what's been incredible about him. I know some of you guys have had the luxury, and I always tell people here and you guys have been able to do this because you're great, and our guys are great. If you haven't met our guys, introduce yourself. You'll be impressed. And even the new guys, Justin McCoy is very impressive. Like what he's done for us on the floor, but to fill a void as a leader in your first year is not easy. No. But three guys who've done that really well were Jerome, Kamaka, and Justin McCoy.
Okay, here's a texter. Coach, you got a UC Davis team coming up, and they have started off really well, but they fell off a little bit and a bit of a slide. Does knowing that give you any more confidence, especially since they lost against teams like Long Beach that you have beaten?
Oh, I think how we handle success, how we handle failure is the exact same way, and we have a lot of respect for Davis, their staff, and their program. And I've said before, the league, everybody's been on different slides. Northridge was 5-1, and they're playing better again, but they had 5 in a row, and Davis had 10-2 start, and they had maybe lost 3 out of 4, whatever. But I think it's a credit to their league. There's some really good coaches, a lot of different programs who have been to the NCAA tournament, coaches who've been in the NCAA tournament. There's a lot of parity in our league, and I think that's more of why they might be struggling, or maybe we did earlier, other teams can. I do know that they've been a really good program. They're obviously ahead of us right now in the standings. They are really move the ball offensively. They scrap defensively. They play inside out. They force turnovers. They're playing at home, and it's their senior night with a great senior class, including Elijah Pepper.
Well, that's the thing. He's really a good player, and he's not the only one. That point guard's pretty good, too.
Really good, and he's a guy who scored 20 the other night. He's really fast. We've seen some fast guards, and they have experience with Milling and Adebayo, and so they've been through it, and they're one of those teams that can handle a struggle and come right back. So we have great respect. We'll prepare with great respect.
We got to take a quick time out. We'll be back with more. This will allow Cole to give some good things away right here at Ruby Tuesday. This is Call the Coach. days, Moanalua. This is our last scheduled call the coach for Rainbow Warrior basketball. I've enjoyed it tremendously. I wish we had some more of them.
Yeah.
I think people are enjoying getting to know this team. They have been playing their hearts out. And what I loved about it is some guys have been flipped. Some guys have fallen off a little in their play. Others have stepped up. So there's been some changes. And I haven't seen a change in attitude on anybody's part, which is unusual.
Well, it's contagious and infectious, and it's fun to watch. And even when we do our clips, we'll do winning plays at the end. We'll we go defense, rebounding, and you've seen them, offense, and then we'll do winning plays. And we always show the bench a lot with. And so, we had guys early in the year, Cody and Ryan, who weren't playing and were cheering on, and then when they had their opportunities, they were ready to go. And maybe it flips, and sometimes it's not a negative about one guy or the other. It's just the way it kind of plays out, and
it's matchups too.
But in the meantime, it's what good. I'll say it's easy to say, hard to do, but you got to do in terms of staying engaged, staying ready. But the good ones and the good teams do.
Let me ask you this, because it's got to be wearing on you a little bit. I don't think you dwell on this, but there have been times when I'm sure you think about this little stretch that you have not had success in the opening round of the Big West Conference tournament. I think this team is really worthy of winning a couple of games. What do you think?
I always believe that. I mean, I think we got to, and some of these, you look, it's tough, it's humbling. It's you've been on both sides of it. You coach long enough, and sometimes a possession here and there, and sometimes people will go through those stretches. I mean, we've had 2 or 3 overtime losses, 1 possession. To be honest, it hurts your soul. That's
yes.
part of what we do
as
coaches. And then you get back to work and focus on what you can control. But we've had a lot of good teams that have been capable, and, a shot here or there, possession, and you live with it, and you work to attack it and keep getting better and keep putting yourself in position. So I think, it's what you've seen in the outcomes in all these conference tournaments too for us. Like, there have been, 7 or 8 different champions in our league, and a lot of these a possession or 2 here or there. So just keep putting yourself in position. I do think our team, if we continue to grow, has a chance to be our potential at its best is the best in the league. And so, but you can say that about a couple different teams in our league, and it's going to come down to discipline and consistency, to be honest, and continue to play with momentum going in it.
Hi, Coach. Coach Beeman created her Big Bash for a game. Any chance to do that for the men's team, maybe for senior night?
I hope so. I mean, I think, I think we have some unique things coming up for this last senior week. We have 2 unique jerseys. I think you're obviously white out senior night, and we have it should be senior week every game. I'm telling our guys, we're not going to, you've heard me say it over the years, we're not waiting until the senior night to honor our seniors. You honor them every day, and we got a great senior group. We got 6 seniors, and you will be honored, obviously, and so that's going to be really special as well. So we only have 2 more home games. We've got a great group of guys. I know they have some giveaways and theme nights, and I do believe it's an alternate jersey. It may have been flashes shown for the Wednesday game, and on Saturday, for that Saturday we come back, obviously a white out, and we'll be wearing our retros that we wore last year a couple times, maybe this year, and I hope it's all a big bash. Every game is a big bash, and
I hope it goes on for a while.
Yeah, no, and like I said, the stakes are always at the highest late, and with the way they've changed the seedings, these games are important for everybody. Teams are going to be fighting for the top 2. Teams are going to be fighting for the top 4. And down the stretch, teams will be fighting to get in. So every game is going to be, like I was telling our guys, we get to play. We're very blessed to do what we love, where we love, with people we love, and playing these kind of games with great magnitude. We're playing at Davis on their senior night with a lot at stake.
That'll be tough.
How blessed. That's what the guys will miss when they're gone, and that's what the guys who are alums now wish they could play in again, and that's what we get to play in.
Well, I think it's so fabulous. The losses are so painful when they occur, and this is for every team in the league. I mean, you can imagine how Cal Poly's feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, because they have come out to work every night, and they haven't had a shot fall. They've played a lot of people close. but haven't been able to play, get over the top.
A lot of people close. I mean, you can talk to some of the top teams in our league about games with them, but this is my 21st year coaching. I hope I can coach for another 21. Obviously, going right into it from playing. You coach long enough, you play long enough. It's a humbling game. There's a lot of great moments. There's a lot of heartache, and you just keep coming back to work. And you've been on both sides of it. Great stretches, tough stretches, healthy, not healthy. You just got to continue to think about the process. Why do you coach? For the kids to develop, to put them in positions to win, to compete, to grow, to represent Hawaii, and stick with that. And even when we've been in our struggles, and trust me, we're not sitting around. We're going to enjoy the journey and get back to work. When we get a struggle, it's going to hurt, and then get back to work. But you don't ever forget them. I'm just saying, the ups and downs, they're with you for life, and they make you who you are.
I think back of all the people you've had on staffs here, Chris Acker and Chris Gerlofson and Adam Jacobson, and the ball falls a little differently for everybody. And some people are luckier than others. And really it comes to, I looked about and I said, could I separate Acker from Gerlofson really, or from Jacobson? Really not. I mean, it's been a luck of the draw thing. Well,
and you just got to put yourself in position and process. And I think everybody who's been part of that understands that and understands the humility that comes with it. And we've had great coaches. We've had great players. Some of these players you never know. I was talking 21 years ago. I was with Randy Bennett, and Kyle Smith was the associate head coach, and Lamont Smith, who became the head coach of San Diego. Todd Golden was our walk-on freshman, who's now the head coach of Florida. And, everybody – we have our similar values in terms of process and putting our guys in great positions and trying to develop future leaders and things like that. And, we've all had great wins and tough losses, and we still look out for each other and stick together. And I think one of the great things here is that we have a tremendous loyal fan base that have been with us through the ups and downs. And I feel that, our guys feel that, and I appreciate it very much.
Let's take this text. Coach, you got a shot to win big there down the stretch and get a top 4 seed. What you do? What do you tell the guys that are here and they have to end their regular season before the tournament in Vegas?
It's the same thing. We kind of do a Monday truth deal, and then we focus on the task at hand, because we understand. We do this from the beginning of the year. What we want, what's our goal, and then we kind of set it aside, protect it, and then talk about the daily process. So, it's like, let's say for a week ago when we came back, it said 5 games left. We have at Long Beach Saturday, and then we have this. Long Beach Saturday on the road trip, home here, conference tournament here, and then we talk about control what you can control. We're in control of our destiny. Don't scoreboard watch. Don't do any of that. Put your energy in getting better. It's why we're back from we're 2-6 start, 6-2 the last 8 games. And so after we talk about all that and us first, you've heard us say that. Even on a quick turnaround, it's us first and them. We erase that and say today's practice. That's all that matters. And today, after we watch the film, hey, get your rest tonight. Travel well. Put ourselves in position. If you skip steps, you'll get in trouble. But it's important sometimes to touch on it early in the week and then let it go again, because our guys are human. They understand what's at stake. But our ability to keep them, and this is a credit to their leadership on the floor, focus on the task at hand. That's what has got us back in the mix. All we've done is put ourselves in position to be in position. So handling success, handling failure, it's got to be the exact same way or better, not skipping steps.
Well, you're going to start with Davis on Thursday,
yep.
And then you have Riverside on Saturday. Those are both capable teams, although they've each had rough patches lately.
Well, your Riverside, you could argue, is playing as well as anybody in our league. I know we've won 6 of 8. They've won 5 of 6. So they're coming in here really hot, or coming at their place, and they do not play. So our last 4 games, each team has a 1-game week with us. 1-game week with us. We got some travel. What a blessing. Bring it on. Like, it's a great opportunity and challenge. That's what you live for.
Let's take a quick time out. More prizes to give away right here at Ruby Tuesdays and this edition of Call the Coach.
What do we mean when we say Hawaiian Financial FCU?
at the Stan Sheriff Center have gotten better over the course of the season. So have they here, which is kind of fun. It's been a journey this year. I really have had that feeling, and for myself personally, even I've had some ups and downs this year. But it's all the more satisfying when the team is playing as well as they are now.
It's great to see you back with us, and let's make sure everybody's listening and honor Bobby as well as our seniors in that last stretch, please.
Let's talk about this, Ron.
I know how much I can make him blush right now, which is great.
Do you have a do you have a team that you particularly enjoy playing? I mean, in terms of the style that you feel like this is a good matchup for us.
That's a tough question. I think I personally enjoy what's great about the game is I enjoy all the competition of it, and what's great about what's happened with the game is, especially in our league, I think this year more than anything, but we have a lot of different styles. Sometimes leagues can be similar. You see that a lot, but within our league, we have a lot of different styles. We have a smash mouth team. We have a small ball team. We have a pressing team. We have a spread you out team. We have a team that just gets to the rim. I like the challenge, to be honest. I know our staff does, of preparing for different styles.
Yeah, and I think they do a really good job on it. And I thought they did particularly a good job against Long Beach this week. Yeah,
and one of the great things you have to do, and we're doing it of late, we got to keep going, but you have, it's really hard for your team at times because it can be, you have your blueprint and then you have to wrinkle it, and sometimes you can play two completely different teams in a week. Just like that. We play a team that really runs a lot of stuff and sets and packages and inside out, and then you have a team that's really simple, but they try to smash mouth you in terms of post, get into the rim in transition. So mark of a great team is you got to be able to play in different ways as well.
And I think that when you get to tournament time, that's especially important because you're changing by the day.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about turnarounds on Thursday, Saturdays. These are, potentially Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And, again, that's where a lot of it right now, especially for us with the travel, we've gotten better and quick. Remember I said this going into the bye week with Long Beach. We've gotten better in quick turnarounds. We did not have a bye for 8 weeks. We got to make a bigger jump in the bye week, and now you're back to, again, this is about keeping them physically fresh. I know we had a caller ask a great question, balancing physically fresh with mentally making the adjustments on the fly.
Okay, here we go, the texter. Coach, I'm happy the team is attacking the basket more, but are you going to try and recruit more athletic and quicker post players? We seem to struggle more against those other Big West teams that have those type of players.
Yeah, I think over the years we've gotten been more. If we could stay healthy, I think we'd have one of the more ideal situations with Bernardo and Moore and obviously the guys coming in. And so I think that's helped us of late. I think that's going to be the trend moving forward. Obviously we lose Bernardo. So I think a lot's changed since I started coaching, in terms of, and not just for the on the offensive side, but the defensive side. You got to find, bigs who are in shape and can run the floor because that's what you want offensively. But bigs can't just stand under the rim anymore. It used to be like when you talk about a perimeter player or a post player, it's can he guard one-on-one, and post, can he guard the post one-on-one? Well, now, let's say for the post, he's got to be able to guard one-on-one. He's got to run in transition. He's got to be able to guard a ball screen, a smash mouth 5 or a pick and pop 5. And so obviously that's why our trend will be there, and that's what we're targeting for sure.
Well, how many scholarships does it look like you'll have ready to give?
Well, right now we obviously have 6 seniors, and we have two commitments, one of which came at semester at AJ Economo, and then we have Aaron Clater coming in. So right now we have 4, and I feel like we're in a good place with who we're on. And like I said, when I started coaching, everything was about the fall, and you maybe added 1 in the spring. It's completely flipped. So I feel like we have good young pieces coming in the fall that we have committed, and we're going to attack. So and we have, like we talked about last couple shows, we do have a void at some spots that can be filled by some impactful transfers and a blueprint of success with transfers.
One of the things, as I look, hold on a second, I lost my microphone. One of the things I look, and I'm thinking a tough decision you have to make with Cody Williams, because I think on his performance, he's worthy of a scholarship. Are you going to be able to find one for him? Is going to be tough.
Yeah, and you've seen us do that in the past. We've rewarded guys who've done it, in the classroom and on the floor, and I feel like he's continued to improve. It's great to watch, honestly. When I say that about Justin, I could say it about anybody. And as the other thing is not just rewarding some guys. If they're playing better than other guys, they'll play. Even if it's a freshman, I know it's harder for freshmen, but if the freshman outplays the older guy, he'll play. And if a guy who's not on scholarship outplays a scholarship player, he'll play. And so I think the good thing for him or other guys is, and we've shown that we will reward some of those guys.
Shane in the audience, you're up, brother. You got Shane? There you go.
Hi, Coach.
Hey.
Just as a observation, we won 6 out of 8, but I think a big reason was Justin McCoy. Obviously, he seems to have this chip on his shoulder, like, it's not a cocky, selfish chip. It's kind of like a confidence where, everybody could jump on my back. I can take you to the promised land, kind of thing. And I think at the beginning, the talent, the skill level was there. But it's kind of like Kamaka and Noah Allen, where they took a little bit time to get adjusted to a new role, coming from a big Power 5 conference where they're not getting as much time, but now they're asked to have a bigger, role. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on his progression and the journey that he's had to go through. And I know at the beginning of the season, beginning of the show, you hinted that. Should we hold out hope that he might have another year? But I don't know. Just wanted your thoughts on that.
That'd be awesome. I would love to coach him for another year. I'd love to coach all those guys for another year. I think they should. For some of the things that people get years back for him, these guys have more of an argument and more deserving. I do think, like I said, getting used to playing more minutes is something, and then the wind of it, and then getting used to playing through. I call blenders are the guys who might play more minutes, but they just move the ball. And we're playing through Justin. And then, seeing scouts and then the confidence. So you always gain confidence. A big part of so he's great talent now with confidence. Where's the confidence always come from? It always comes from, number one, work. We always talk about that with our guys. You feel like you deserve success because of the amount of work you put in. So for him, great worker. 2, breakthroughs. And that's what's happened to take him this new next level recently. The breakthroughs, he's had a 15-point game, 17-point game that leads to the 20-point games, and then the work has made him more balanced. So we've, early on in the year, I think he was more of an open shooter. He still has that, but his ability to attack the rim, his ability to post up, to run in transition, it's hard for him. He's such a passionate, fun-loving, vocal guy. And it's hard to lead when you're learning a system. So now the system's comfortable for him, and now he can lead. And he's been maybe our best leader. So obviously I would love to coach him for another year because I think the best is yet to come. I think he has a bright future. If he continues to play, he should continue to play because you're just seeing some of that come together for him. And it's the best thing to watch, to see a guy who's been playing behind guys and then have the opportunity and come through. And he's so happy here in Hawaii. It's awesome. And I think it's ignited everybody. Sometimes you need to see a guy it's contagious, like we said earlier. They're all putting in the work, but some kind of breakthrough in the confidence and going, hey, we got a special one right here to combine with. Bernardo had his stretches. Noel has his stretches. We just got to keep working and keep getting better. But the good thing about him is he's a monster worker. And we're not just talking. The guys work. They go in the gym. He goes in the gym. He goes in the weight room. He watches the film. He talks to the staff. He talks to the players. He takes care of his nutrition, the treatment. There's so many layers to the work. So it couldn't be happier for him, and I think it's a great example for the rest. That's a form of leadership.
And one of the things I want to point out is I think right now, right as it stands this week, I think he might be the toughest matchup in the entire conference.
Well, it's because he's really dynamic around the rim. He can finish with both hands. He steps through, and if you want to foul him there, he can get to the line.
He's good free throws, and he's a good free throw shooter.
Yeah, and he's been – so one of those things we were chipping away at when we were struggling at times offensively was let's get the ball moving and player moving and easy baskets to complement the half court. Where when people were taking Bernardo away from the post, where's our second pitch inside where you're trying to get easy baskets. Just like you said earlier when we started playing Noah Allen there, it was kind of like a similar phase, you know.
Yes.
In some, because both those guys, remember we joked before, like when we signed Noah, people were saying we need scoring. Why are you signing Noah? He scored .9 a game at UCLA. He led the Big West in scoring.
Right.
You know, Justin McCoy, well, you don't know we know they can score. They need some confidence. They need some reps. But the separator for both of them right now is they're not dependent on just making or missing perimeter shots. The attack in the rim, the three, the free throw line, so many different ways, and he gets offensive boards. Big credit to him.
No, he's fun to watch also because he'll reach. I mean, he will reach and lean around a guy and put it off the glass on him, and it's like, what do you do? What do you do about that?
He's got a really nice touch and
Feather.
balance in the post, and he's like early on. You have to weather some of the struggles because of what could have come late, and continue to give him confidence. We have confidence in him. You know, it's great to see.
I don't think there's a guy on this team that really feels that he's been slighted. There's guys who wishes they had more minutes. But
I want that from them. Like there's a balance. I don't want our guys to be okay with not playing. That's why those guys who haven't in the past, they continue to work. But there's a balance between you can do both can be true. You want them to be disappointed they're not playing, but be great teammates. Both can be true. You can do both. It's not easy, but you got to do it. And but I certainly don't want them to just sit there and be okay with it.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I don't think there's any of that complacency either. I'm not seeing it anyhow. Let's talk a little bit about the format of the tournament. It's changing on the men's side here because you have a double bye for the top two teams, then a single bye for 3 and 4, and then everybody else steps into the usual. You know, you have to win to advance. What's your thought about? I almost think, because we've seen it before, seen it in the gals' side, that sometimes the double bye doesn't seem to help. It's almost like too much time off.
It depends on when your season ends and when it starts. I mean, I've been part of a lot of different conference tournaments and the changes in and obviously you also have the dynamic. Some people have what you just said, but not everybody makes it. Sometimes you might have one team not make it. We have 3 teams not make it now in this current format. So that's why I said going into the last game of the year, there are going to be people who are going to competing not just for the top 2 seed or the top 4, but even
to get
in. And, you know, when I was at St. Mary's at WCC, we did that. We had that, and we got the double bye with Gonzaga quite a bit. And that was a long, you know, I don't know if we'll feel it because we have a travel to the tournament. But, you know, I'll still say at the end of the day, give me the whatever it is, you know, my mind says, hey, we got to win 4. We're gonna win 4. If we got to win 3, we got to win 3. Whatever it is, but you want to put yourself in position to have to find a balance between not having too much rest but having rest for sure.
So the philosophy generally is just play the best you can every game. Where your opponent falls in, they fall in. That's you don't spend a lot of time trying to manage that.
I mean, I don't want to say, like, we're human. They're human. I understand they're watching it. I just don't want them to – it's like this – watching it is bad. Too much of it is really – or watching is not horrible, but too much of it. It's the balance. Like, put your energy in what you can control. I don't want to act like they're robots. I mean, they have a – they know, but I also don't want to act like they need me to remind them. They know what's going on. Let's get to work. I mean, obviously you want to fight to get the best seed you can. There's no question about that. And if it doesn't work your way, you want to fight to be playing your best basketball going in that stretch.
Let's take a quick time out. We will be right back here in Ruby Tuesdays in the mall, and there's some gifts, I think, to give away still. And we'll be right back on ESPN. Call the coach.
Aloha, Kanoa Leahy here, and I
Welcome back to Ruby Tuesdays Moanalua for our remainder of our Monday edition of Call the Coach. I don't know if you wait till the end of the season when the balls are put away before you evaluate how the season went.
Yeah.
Because I would have to say, if you were to evaluate it now, I would say not finished, but good going. Good going so far. Yeah, I'm happy with how the guys have come around and played. I'm happy with the way they've played, with their attitudes, with their work ethic. All of those things make me happy. The only thing I want now is more wins.
Yeah. No, it's a constant evaluation. I mean, our staff's working our tails off, and we're in the current. At the end of the year, when you have a breather, you get to do a more kind of holistic breakdown of everything. But we're constantly evaluating. That's why I think we've, like I said, what we're doing well, what we're not doing well, and keep working.
Yeah, do we still have David Hallams here? Is he still here? Maybe we can get him a microphone because he's been doing these games on Spectrum. I want to see what his impressions are. I imagine David loves the team game. I assume he's enjoying this. David?
Check, 2, 1, 2. All right. I did not win any type of prize, but that's fine. That's fine. I bought all my gear on my own, but thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach.
I'm on it.
Thank you, Gary Dickman. Tell Cole should take over this whole thing already. All right. Time to move on, Gary. Anyway, sorry, Bobby. What was the question again? Sorry.
Yeah, just your impressions. I know that you wanted to get your comedy in, but the team has gone through some hard spots. I think has come out the other side, is playing really well, a much more aggressive team that's going to the basket, not waiting 27 seconds before they get to it. Your thoughts of how the offense has looked? Let's start with that.
Yes, so Coach Ganot, first of all, I apologize for saying that all the time on TV. Yes. I don't even appreciate that they don't even look at the basket. When they get the ball, they're like, what if you have an opportunity? Do something with it. But what I love, and to your question, Bobby, also is Scott Robbs and Johnny White were supposed to be here, but they're not. They're not loyal. So put that in you guys' mental bank, guys. I'm all for life. I'm going to be at the Dallas Loan Center. So anyway, moving forward for life, I appreciate the way the guys rebounded from the 2-6, now 6-2. I love the passion. I love the defense. I love what Coach Ganot had to do to make guys either bring new guys out, freshmen, like he said. Don't matter who you are, freshmen or sophomore, senior, whatever. If you're going to produce, play the people that are going to put us in a position that we're going to take control of this conference. And now look at us. We're killing guys on the top level. But we're a top-level team, too, so I'm like, we're supposed to be doing this earlier, but I'm glad that Cody Williams, these guys are coming off the bench. You said it, Bobby. I'll give him a scholarship tomorrow if I could afford a UA scholarship. But everyone else, losing Morsek, having Bernardo be available during games and not get into foul trouble is big. But I like that Coach now gives these guys the freedom to play offensively, but defensively, we're shutting people down. Long Beach State now came in, leading scoring team in the Big West, scored 63 points, and not counting the garbage buckets. So that's big. That is big. They're a great team. So credit to what you're doing, Coach. The team is doing, the team responding, being coachable, and playing the guys that are going to contribute. I love that you got Kira coming off. He's coming off, and he's doing things. Boom. And I like that he's not just coming into the game and just being nervous. He's like, oh, I'm open. I'm going to let it fly, and I love that part about Akira Jacobs. So, Coach, you giving him the freedom. I enjoy watching him. We frustrated like you wouldn't believe, guys. And I'll fight anybody over here that is against Hawaii. Even on the road, I think I got kicked out of the Orleans already. And but I'm UH for life, guys. So I can go to another hotel, Green Valley Ranch. I'm going to go there now. So welcome back there. So I'm going to be there next week, a couple weeks. But I love the transformation that you talked about, Bobby, the way that the team has responded. This is the Warriors that we were talking about in the preseason. And I'm telling you guys this. We're going to go to the big dance, guys. We're going to go to the big dance. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to say that right now, guys. We're going there. And I'm going to be there in Henderson to see this through. Bobby, that's all I got to say. Sorry, guys.
Cool.
And, I didn't even win a towel. I got pens, though. I got UH pens.
David,
I got UH pens.
I'm rooting for you to win something sometime.
And by the way, Rick Nakashima, fire Gary Dickman, and then we'll be all right, guys.
All right.
Hire Cole Malzoff in here, guys. I love this kid right here. Love you guys.
Thank you, David. And here's Coach. If you consider where Bernardo da Silva and the great improved play now, what percentage of improvement has he made? We think he's become a beast on the court in every way now.
I think he's playing his best basketball, and I think even the other night, you know, we talk about Justin. The game's awesome. It can go for you. It can come back to you. And I think a lot of things that are opening up for everybody is, you know, Bernardo, I think, had 8 points and 7 or 8 rebounds, but he was guarding one of the premier post players in our league, and he does so many things that don't show up in the box score. That's where he's improved. He's an overall better player. He's a better defender. He's really worked on his free throw shooting, which has been better of late. You know, he's #1 in the league in field goal percentage. He's the guy, like we talk about, because he's so low-key about himself. He's got kind of a Tim Duncan personality to him at times because he doesn't beat his own chest. But, you know, we talk about Javon and Noel. Bernardo is the one who's been here for all 5 years. He's been through the ups and the downs more than anybody. He's had injuries, and this is his healthiest year. Hope that continues. But I think it's just coming I think his numbers are up, but his leadership's up and his intangibles are up, and he's well more balanced. So I'm really proud of him.
Let's try this text.
I mean, sorry, I could say this. He's close to being a 1,000-point scorer, 600 or 700 rebound.
It's amazing.
Close to 100 blocks, and it's kind of gone under the radar. It's pretty impressive.
Coach, how good is it not to have to play 2 road games before the tournament this time? And can we tell Dan Butterly to do this every year, please?
Well, unique thing is if we're home, the women are on the road, or vice versa. I've never seen it. I don't think it's ever been done anywhere, because this is my 9th year here, where whenever that happens, it switches every other year or a couple years. 8 years in a row, we finished on the road. I've never heard of that. That does not exist. We don't need to do a deep dive. It's not possible anywhere else. So I'm interested in seeing how that will be. But obviously, whatever it is, it's great.
You're going to say it's the best it could be.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
But it's good. It'll be interesting to see what it's like.
All right. I think that's all good stuff. We don't have a lot of time here. If somebody wants to get in here with a quick text, you could. But let's just go this. When are you leaving? Tomorrow morning or afternoon?
Yeah, we leave tomorrow. We go, obviously, this one's a different flight because usually we stay in SoCal, but we're going to leave for Sacramento and then fly Friday morning to Riverside.
Right. That makes sense.
And then the unique thing, as we know, is, and everybody this is going to be a rare, unique stretch. Not a lot of practices left for us because we play Thursday, Saturday, come back. We play Wednesday and Saturday our home stretch. And then we're gone per Sunday for a conference tournament.
Yep.
Just like that, it goes quick.
And hopefully for another week or two.
We pack with a lot of clothes, so.
It's all good. All good. You have to you got to believe it. You got to see it before you can live it. And obviously they're hell-bent on having a good ending to the season. Eran, thank you so much for coming down. Barbie, it was good to see you. I didn't see Ziza. Is she here?
She's got basketball. I will say, I want to thank everybody here for her supporting. I know there's a lot of people here who have been fans for a long, long time, and it's great to see that kind of loyalty. Also, anybody who's listened to us, thank you for sticking with our guys, because I'm speaking on behalf of our great kids, how much they appreciate it, and our staff and their families, and we only have 2 more home games.
That is a wrap. I also thank you for coming for these many years. I want to thank Keegan, and we have Cole Mouseoff and Gary Dickman, and thanks to everybody from all of us at ESPN Honolulu. I'm Bobby Curran. Aloha.
This has been Call the Coach.